We finished restoring your two Nishijin B Pachinko machines, and this quick start guide will apply to both machines. The mechanics of the machines are exactly the same, so we'll cover one of the machines and you can use that for both. The machine on the left here is a 1976 Nishijin, and the one on the right is a 1975 Nishijin. First we'll lock the ball drain lever. I'll zoom in, and the ball drain lever is this arm here. It's got a notch in it. There's a plate here. You need to push that over to the right, and when you do, it'll engage with the notch. Now these levers are locked. There's also a piece of metal up here with a weight. You just need to flip that down. The most common problem with Pachinko machines is the one ball seesaw in the wrong position. When it's in the wrong position, balls will back up into your machine and they'll cause jams, and nothing will pay out until you get the seesaw in the correct position. The seesaw is this white rectangular piece. It has a couple balls in that act as counterweights, and it pivots like so. Right now it's in the down position. That's incorrect, so you need to reset it to this position, and the way you do that, there's just this little pin right here. You push up on that pin and it resets that seesaw. We will now connect the battery. Just slide that over so it's on the post. You can snap it on, and you saw that this light came on. This light is to let you know that your supply tray is low on balls and you need to add balls. So you have a light there. You also have some lights, well, we'll talk about those in a minute, but when you're looking from the front of the machine, it's this light here. So if you see some lights over here, these are your jackpot lights. They'll flash when you get a jackpot. When this one comes on and stays on, you need to refill the balls. There's also another way to tell you need to refill balls, say if you're not using the battery, which is optional. Just inside your play tray there is a little sign that looks like an anchor, and that sign, when it drops down, it does two things. One, it tells you you need to fill the machine up with balls, and two, there's another metal lever that drops right here and it blocks the path of balls from your play tray into your shooter assembly. So when that comes down, even if you have a tray full of balls, after you shoot a few, no more will be able to be shot because they'll get stopped. We'll go ahead and load some balls into the machine. We'll load some on the play tray first. Now we'll load some in the back. Now, since yours will be in the cabinet, you'll actually load the back by pouring the balls in that wooden box on top of the cabinet, and when you do, the balls will drop down right into here into your supply tray. And when they go in the supply tray, they'll come down this upper track, make a turn here, go down this lower track, and then enter into your jackpot assembly here, where they'll wait for a payout. And when we put balls in here, they'll activate this arm here, which is by the weight, and when that happens, the light shuts off. It activates this switch which shuts off the light. Now, since you have a cabinet, the balls will come out of this one ball outlet and lost ball outlet, and they'll drop down, hit inside the cabinet, and they'll roll into a plastic tray. I'll show you that in a minute. But if you weren't using the cabinet, you'd need to put some kind of tray back here to catch them, just under those two. You'll just take your white tray, stick it in the lower compartment of the cabinet, just in the center, and it'll catch the balls. Now to play Pachinko, you pull down on the flipper. I put my index finger up against the finger rest bar, and you pull it all the way down, and you quickly let go. When you do, the ball will launch up this shooter lane, up this lane here, come across, and it can hit this bumper. It's the rebound bumper. It'll bounce off, and then it'll hit the pins, and it'll start to drop. It'll hit the spinners just spin around and redirect the ball. And the object of the game is to try and get it into one of the tulips, or one of the pockets, or the main attraction. And if you get a ball in any of those areas, the lights will flash, you'll hear a bell ring, which is basically just the balls bouncing off a bell, and then the balls will come out here, and that's your payment. So it doesn't matter which pocket it goes into, it's the same payout for all of them. Now these tulips, they have orange wings on them. Those are open now. If a ball goes in, they close. and if it's closed and a ball goes in, then it opens up. We'll go ahead and play. Pull down the flipper, let go. The very first time you load a machine, nothing happens on the first shot because it's actually putting a ball into the shooter lane. We'll do it again. Okay, the first two shots fell out through this exit here and back into the bucket, and the third shot actually went into this tulip. We saw the lights flash, heard the balls hit the bell, and the balls came out here. Okay, the way this main attraction works is if a ball goes in the top, it'll pivot this monkey just a little bit, and the ball will either go in this hole or it'll go in this hole. Either one of those holes, what it does is it opens the tulip at the bottom. If the bottom tulip's closed, it'll open it. You could have a ball that comes down through the sides and enters here, and if it does, it'll come by and it'll just tilt this and then fall through the back, and if it does, it'll open two tulips. It'll open the left side tulip and the bottom center tulip. If it comes over here, it'll open the right side tulip and the bottom tulip. So I'll just drop the ball in the top. Drop a ball in the side. So that's how your main attraction works. Now if you pull down on the flipper just a little bit, there won't be enough power to launch it all the way on the play field. It will just go up the shooter lane partly, and then it'll roll back down into your receiving tray here. Like so. Now if someone doesn't let go quick enough, say they put their whole hand on the flipper and they do that, what they've just done is add another ball to the shooter lane. So if you try and pull and let go real hard, it may not have enough power to launch all the balls. So we'll put a few in there. So now I probably have 3 or 4 balls. Now if I try and shoot, it wasn't enough power to launch them all, so they came down into the receiving tray. Get a jackpot from the back. I'll be dropping a ball into this side tulip here, and when it comes in, it'll roll down and across. It'll enter this seesaw, which will pivot, and then it will move over here into this lane. Let me zoom in so you can see. So the ball will drop around here, make this turn. There's a piece of metal in here, a long arm. It'll pivot down. That arm will go all the way down. Now that arm goes behind here, and there it pushes up on that rod. That rod, when it pushes up, it engages all that metal linkage there, comes across to that white plastic horizontal arm, which pivots, allowing this vertical arm here to lift up, and then all the balls in the jackpot assembly will drop down. When they drop down, first thing they do is they hit a metal plate right here, making a sound. They land on this white arm, which will pivot down, and when that pivots down, the balls will go down here, hit your bell, and then go out to the play tray. Now if you've won a whole lot of jackpots, the balls will back up in here, and they'll start to back up, and then instead of hitting that bell, they'll fall down, hit this bell, and go into this brown area, which leads to your receiving tray in front. We'll go ahead and do that now. Now we've won a lot of jackpots. The light has come on, the sign has come down. We need to refill the supply tray. This tray is really full. The way to empty it is you have this blue lever here. You'll slide it over to the left, and the balls will roll from here into your receiving tray, where you can scoop them out into the white bucket and then pour them back into the top. If there's a lot of balls here, sometimes the weight will cause them to jam. Just take your finger and loosen them. Go ahead and slide this over. And that's how that works. So this is that's it for your quick start guide. That should get you up and running. We do have the several hour DVD we're also including with this, with lots of tips and tricks for these machines. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoy it.